All right. Well, hey, Coaches Up for Change. It is Dee Corchin, and I am so happy to be with you tonight. It is Tuesday or Monday. It is February 13th, and tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And I picked this topic tonight because after 12 years of coaching, I actually think these are two of the most the fundamentals in our business. The topic of keeping it simple, KISS, and heart of coaching. So we're going to spend some time talking about that. And I'm actually going to utilize a video for a portion of our training tonight. It's about 7 or 8 minutes. And we watched it with our executive director team about 4 or 5 months ago. And it was pretty powerful. And I really think the timing is good for this right now. So I thought, well, one of us could teach and try to regurgitate it, or we could hear it directly from the messenger. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But when we start to watch it, I just want you to realize it will be a little bit longer. And then we've got some coaches on our team that are going to be sharing. So we've got a lot that's going on, that's happening within our company. Hopefully you were able to get on Dr. A's, the coach call the other night. A lot of emphasis on client support, which we're going to continue. I think as we're kind of going through the season of our business, we're learning that really focusing on our clients, making good quality client support a fundamental is just so important. So we're spending a lot of time on that, and also how to share about coaching. And so some of it is in preparation for those that want to qualify and go to Launch to Global with us in April. So we've got our ED Explosion that is happening, that Meg and I are leading. That is a training and action-oriented group. We had our first session last Wednesday, and it was great turnout. And then we've got more another session this Wednesday at noon. And then also a reminder, if you didn't see it, Dr. Anderson is doing a Coach Explore for health professionals. It's Thursday at 1. So if you have people in your world that are anywhere in the health arena, inviting them to that. And then if they can't be on, I'm sure we could get them the replay for it. But the other thing I've been getting lots of questions about is last week we announced kind of that that the company will be releasing details probably in the next few months about our, there's going to be an incentive trip coming up. And if you haven't been with Optavia for a while, an incentive trip is where the company will announce guidelines based on growth, and they're focused on growth. And if you meet them, you could qualify to go for, it's generally an all expense paid trip, which are so much fun. We've done cruises, we've gone to all-inclusive resorts, different things. So something you're going to want to be a part of. And what they've really been stressing is that what we're doing right now, before the qualifications are announced, you're building your foundation. So what we're going to want the next couple of months is continuing to add clients, continuing to, expand, meet, talk, love on people, find out what they need from a health perspective, and help them with our program, but not just signing them up, but really finding out the source of their pain. What is it they've struggled with before, and helping them find the solution through Optavia, through all of the tools that we offer, and not just the eating plan. So that's going to be super, super important. But really loving on other people is the answer in so many ways. So we're going to watch this video. Now he's going to talk about companies, and he's going to use the words like employees and clients, et cetera. Anytime he says employee or client, I just want you to think clients and coaches, the people that you service. You are the company, you are the business owner. So, so here we go. It is one of the top 10 ever TED Talks that have been out. I've got to change this. Hold on one second.
Is not much better. Experts at Yale and McKinsey have recently stated that the average life expectancy of S&P 500 companies is less than 20 years. In other words, the average large public company will probably not be around as long as the neighbor's special cat, Fluffy. And this raises some interesting questions like, what causes these successful companies with proven business models to die so quickly? And perhaps most important, is there a cure? Although, of course, there are many symptoms that contribute to the failure of these companies, there seems to be one root cause of death. Their top priorities are in the wrong order. The good news is that when we understand this root cause of death, the cure becomes obvious. We simply reorder the priorities. And applying this cure not only helps companies to survive, it can help leaders in all types of organizations to achieve extraordinary levels of long-term success. But let's start with the root cause of failure. Most leaders I'm aware of behave as though their top priorities are in this order. First, profit or other goals of the organization. Then customers, then employees. And while this might just seem to be business as usual, making profit the top priority essentially guarantees the premature death of the organization. Here's why. When leaders make profit the top priority, they will either consciously or unconsciously neglect employees in a systematic way. When employees are consistently neglected, they become increasingly disengaged over time. As a result, customer service declines, product quality declines, and innovation is much less likely to occur. In other words, the organization will fail to serve the customer well. And any organization that fails to serve the customer well will not survive very long. The great leaders, who not only help their organizations to survive, but achieve extraordinary long-term results, see their top priorities like this. Above all else, love employees. When we love employees well, they take very good care of the customers, and the goals of the organization are much more easily achieved. By love, I don't mean going around telling everyone, I love you, being all touchy-feely, holding hands and singing Kumbaya. By love, I mean doing whatever we can to improve the long-term well-being of our team members. The best leaders are always thinking about how they can help their people to grow and to thrive, both professionally and personally. And the well-being of employees is a filter for every decision they make. If a course of action would negatively impact the long-term well-being of employees, it is eliminated as an option. Now, by nature, I am terrible at this. I am hardwired to be a type A, goal-driven, selfish jerk. And I'm serious. And my obsession with goals actually led to my greatest failure. In January of 2001, I tried to take a shortcut to success. I attempted a fraud against the government and ended up spending 5.5 years in prison as a result. But about 2 years into my time in confinement, I had a deeply transformative experience that inspired me to make love my top priority. This turned my time in confinement into the most meaningful experience of my life. So for the last 17 years, while on my journey from prisoner to monk to social entrepreneur, I have devoted my life to training to consistently love better and studying why it's so beneficial to make love the top priority. And I have found an abundance of evidence demonstrating that making love the top priority is not only the right thing to do, it is the surprising secret of the best leaders. A great example of this is Herb Kelleher, the founder and longtime CEO of Southwest Airlines. For decades, Herb was known for consistently interacting with employees in a way that made them feel loved. He was also known for coming in on the most important family holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas to work side by side with frontline people, helping them do things like pass out peanuts on flights and load suitcases onto airplanes. Herb believed that the best way to lead any team or any organization is to make love the top priority. To say that Herb was successful with this practice would be a tremendous understatement. We could make a good case that relative to their industry, Southwest is the most successful company in US history. They have been profitable for 46 years straight. That is extremely impressive in any industry. In the cutthroat airline industry, it is almost inconceivable. And to achieve this remarkable feat, Herb never laid off a single employee and never once cut pay. Herb Kelleher is not alone, though. Many other leaders have proven this principle. In a landmark study conducted by Harvard researchers Cotter and Heskett, they tracked 207 publicly traded companies over a period of 11 years. Companies with leaders who were intentional about making it a top priority to take good care of employees outperformed their profit-focused competitors by a huge margin. Over 11 years, the people-focused companies increased their net income by an average of 756%. The profit-focused companies increased their net income by only 1%. This translated into a 901% increase in stock price for the people-focused companies versus only a 74% increase for the profit-focused companies. There are many, many reasons to lead with love as the top priority. This is the key to attracting and retaining fully engaged employees, to delivering world-class customer service, and to being agile and innovative enough to avoid becoming obsolete. But here's the primary reason that leading with love, making love the top priority, is the most effective way to lead: influence. At its most basic definition, leadership is the ability to influence the actions of others. And the healthiest, most sustainable, and most effective way to build influence is to consistently love the people we lead. For example, in the year 2000, although Southwest had been profitable for 28 years in a row, they were facing some serious financial challenges. There was a chance they wouldn't make a profit that year. So Herb Kelleher sent a memo to all of the nearly 30,000 Southwest employees, asking each of them if they would just do their best to save $5 per day for the rest of the current quarter. You could imagine how that would go over in profit-focused companies. Most employees would think, whatever, and go right back to wasting time on social media. But Herb's memo was different. It wasn't really anything special except for the way he signed it. He signed it, Love Herb. It's special because he actually meant it. And every Southwest employee knew that he meant it. They remembered him coming in on Thanksgiving and Christmas to work side by side with them. They remembered him consistently demonstrating that he loved them year after year after year. Those people found a way to save $5 per day. In fact, they saved almost twice as much. And Southwest, of course, had another profitable year. This is the influence we create when people know that we truly care about them. Sadly, we lost Herb Kelleher earlier this year. He died on January 3rd. After a private funeral for Herb's immediate family, Southwest planned a public service. They knew that they would probably need a football stadium, or maybe two, to accommodate all of the people who would want to attend. They decided to keep the ceremony more intimate, and they only invited the friends and Southwest family members who were closest to Herb. Over 5,000 people attended. During the 2-hour memorial, speaker after speaker shared emotional examples of how Herb had positively impacted them and so many others. And this brings us to the most important reason to make love the top priority. If you spend the rest of your career leading with love as the top priority, you will look back one day and realize that you made a significant, positive impact on the people around you, and that you empowered them to make a positive impact on many others. And as I think we all know, somewhere deep inside of us, this is probably the only measure of success that truly matters. Thank you. To survive. It can help leaders in all types of
Pretty powerful, wouldn't you say? Yeah. I mean, if you think about what we're doing, you guys, and really helping somebody with the greatest asset that they have, which is their physical health, right? Their mental health, the ability to help them potentially mental health. It's a huge responsibility, right? We get to be stewards of, which is so amazing. And if you think about being in this for the long term, thinking about building a legacy business, it really comes from right here in the heart. And I think sometimes we overcomplicate it. We overthink it. We think about ourselves a lot. How are we coming across? And if we can really turn our eyes outward, that was a huge game changer for me, was turning my eyes. What do other people need? What can I help them with? That's when I had more fun versus I need more clients. I need more coaches. And as we get excited about an incentive trip or whatever, it's not going to happen if we get so laser focused on I need. It will come from coming from this place from the heart. So one of my mentors early on used to use a principle of keep it simple, right? You've heard of that, KISS. We'll use keep it simple silly rather than the way you've probably heard it otherwise. But I want to have Zena Friedman come on because Zena embraced this concept and has just been a remarkable coach for the past 6 years. So Zena, you want to share about keeping it simple?
Sure. Happy Love Week, everybody. This is a great time. So I learned something very early on in my coaching career from one of my dearest people that I love till today, Ron Getz, and he's incredible with Optavia. And he taught me his keep it simple approach. And what that is eat the food, talk to people, and have fun. And if you're doing that, your business is going to be the best and you're going to be the happiest. And, you know, I don't only talk this with coaches, but my clients. I tell my clients, eat the food, talk to people, and have fun. Have fun while you're on this journey. Because if I'm not having fun, I'm doing something wrong. And this has been one of the greatest approaches that I have found that has brought so much joy to my life in coaching. So that's it. It's very simple. Eat the food, talk to people, and have fun. And tell it to everyone. And let's have more fun.
Yeah. Don't go off mute yet because I want to ask you a question. But so eat the food simply means be on track with your own health, right? Be on track with your own health, because when we lead with our health, we're going to radiate good energy, right? So eat the food is just eat the food because dang, that food works, right? Manna from heaven is what I call it. But the other is, you know, like having fun in the process and sharing. So Zena, we've mentored together for a long time. You've had a successful business. You've been up to like a regional director in the business, actually national director, leading people. And you at one point got really, really frenzied, right? Like you got really, really goal driven. And just because, you know, I like to keep it real. So can you talk about what happened when you lost this approach and then when you brought it back?
Yeah, it was totally not fun. And I was talking to Dee, like, I don't think I can do this. I mean, I want to enjoy my life. I want to have fun. And I was in that, I want to get, I want to do, you know, who can I get? And I was in that mode and to reach the different ranks. And you know, I talked to Dee, and Dee walked me through what was I really here for, you know, which brought me back to my heart, which brought me back to, I love how I feel, and I want everyone to feel as good as I feel. And when I got back into that approach and started again, and I just let go. I mean, the pressure was off. I could just do what I do, talk to the people, and have fun. And it totally changed. I was ready to give it all up, right, Dee? And it just turned. It was like a complete turnaround for me. So I never looked for that rank again and just kept doing my thing. And you know, if somebody drops off or they reach their goal, and you know what, the next person's right around the corner, so I never have to worry. So that's what happened, you know, and it just changed my life, because I could not live in that stress and structure of that. And yeah, I'm here to have a good time. I'm a party girl.
Well, it's so good. And, you know, an analogy that just popped in my head was Zena and I were doing a tips and celebration call with one of her clients today. And she was on day 8 and she had lost like 6.5 pounds her first week. And then Wednesday is her weigh-in day, but she weighed in early today. And quite frankly, she had an attitude on this call, because she was like, listen, she had not lost weight yet in her second week. And she's like, I am just going to tell you, like, if this doesn't work, if the scale doesn't move, I am out of here, because I'm here for results. And, you know, it was the whole thing. But what I knew and what I shared with her from all these years of coaching was, if you follow the process with Optavia, I mean, would you just nod your head if you follow the process for the Optavia works, right? If you do, right? And it's this that's going to get in the way, right, of it. And so we talk through that, but the same thing is true with coaching. And I see so many of us, and I have been so guilty of this myself, we can get so gripped up in what we want, what we should have, where we should be, what we should be doing, that we lose focus. And believe me, your clients feel that. There's an energy you put out. Not only are you frenzied, but you're putting that energy out into the world. And so it's probably also compounding the fact of why you might be struggling with acquiring clients or acquiring coaches or being impatient with the process. And so it's not like kumbaya, like he said. I mean, you want to be driven, you want to know which direction you're going, but you also want to go through it with open hands at the same time. So, so wanted to talk a little bit, because the other thing, you know, we offer individuals the program. And last week we talked about good quality client support. Next week, I think it's next week or in 2 weeks, Lori Cole's going to go over doing a good health assessment and finding somebody's why and really digging deep into that. But the other things we talk about with clients is really awakening them to our full offering and awakening them to coaching. But that is a journey. It is a process, it's an awakening. So I want to have Julie Apple and Lori Pulver come on, because it's been really fun to watch their journey. I've had the pleasure of mentoring Julie for 8 or 9 years and watched her kind of ebb and flow in her happiness and joy in the journey, and she's thriving in it right now. So I'll just let you take it away from here, Julie.
Yeah. Hey guys. Oh, I loved hearing you share, Zena. So yes, and Lori has been probably such a light the past since July. Last summer is when she texted me, but let me give you guys a little background so you can just see the timeline and understand, like, coaching may look different for every single one of our clients, and probably for you. Dee invited me to coaching for 4 years before I said yes. And Lori and I got to meet each other through her sister, actually, who was one of a referral from one of my Charlotte, North Carolina friends. And when Lori and I first talked, I was looking back with her, it was August of 2019. And that was when she started program. And I remember that next weekend, Jason, my husband, and I were at dinner, and I remember saying to Jason, Lori would be an amazing coach. She's just fun. She's passionate about health. Like, she just has all of the things that would be a great coach. And I remember that conversation. But I remember also when I shared that with Lori, she's like, Julie, I do not have time to coach. I do not have any free moments in my life. And I was like, I understand, that's okay. So anyway, fast forward, we did an explore together as she was successful on plan. She and I just became friends. And honestly, y'all, I would say that would be my biggest encouragement, is become friends. And it's all about relationship with our clients. And so we just stayed in touch, and she kept asking me more questions about coaching. And so in March, I looked at the dates, 2021, we did an explore, and then she still wasn't ready and didn't have time. And last August, it was 3 years from the probably month that she started program, she said, out of the blue, I get a text, I'm ready, Julie. So I want you guys, though, to hear from Lori, because she's just passionate, and it's really fun to hear how she coaches and how she shares with everybody. So Lori, you take it away.
All righty. Thank you, Julie. So yes, exactly what Julie said. Julie and I just developed such a great relationship. I started program, like Julie said, about 3 years ago, and I had a lot of success on program. It really worked for me. And after having tried several different other programs, Optavia was just a blessing to me. And I became so passionate about the program and loved it so much, and had such a great relationship with my coach that I kept, like Julie said, exploring the option, what would that look like in my world someday? But just to take you back a little bit, I'm a full-time physical therapist, full-time job. I had 2 teenage boys at the time that were both, in middle school and high school. And I was a very busy mom and I knew my limitations at that point, and really didn't have the time to take on more what I would need to put in to coaching at that time. So, but it just still kept lingering in the back of my mind. And I have such a passion for health and nutrition, in my day job. And that's just a passion of mine that I've had for years. So I just kept it in the back of my mind. And, mine and Julie's relationship just continued to blossom, that when I finally had the time to even start thinking about it, and my boys got a little bit older and I didn't have as many responsibilities with them, the minute that happened, when my younger son got his license and I wasn't the Uber driver anymore, I said, Julie, I'm ready. I'm in. I want to do this. I still have my full-time job, but it's my passion. I love the program so much and I believe in it so much. And I wanted the ability to really be out there and help others. I saw what it did for me. I saw what it had done for many others that I knew had done the program. And I just wanted to be able to share that with other people. And I just had it, bursting out of me. So I got started. I think I signed on at the end of August and started coaching in September. And it's been just a wonderful experience for me thus far. Just all of the training, Julie's leadership and helping me, get my business up and rolling, and just keeping it simple. And Zena, honestly, what you just said resonated with me so much, that eat the food, and I completely eat the food and still believe in it all the time. And I talk to people, and that's how I really have really grown my business so far, is by talking to people and having tons of fun with it. And that, I think, really, you said it all right there and then, because one of the biggest hesitations that I had with becoming a coach, other than the time factor, was that I wasn't active on social media at all. Really at all. I think I might have had 5 friends on social media and wasn't active. And my sister, who got me onto Plan 3 years ago, said to me, how are you even going to consider coaching? Because you do not have any social media presence and you need to do that in order to be a coach. And I thought, well, I really don't, but you know what? I'm going to give it a whirl anyway, because I love this. I love this program and I'm going to see what happens. And since starting, I've used that simple approach of really just telling every single person that I come in contact with what I am doing. And I kept a list of every single person that I kept in contact with, or that I told what I was doing with. And that would be whether it was my hairdresser or my doctors or my nail technician or anybody at work, any friend that would ask me, what have you been up to? What are you doing? That would be the first thing that I tell everybody. And then I had my family telling people the same thing. I would say, if anybody asks what Lori's up to or what she's doing, my husband, my family, I would have them also tell others what I was doing as well. So I've been kind of rolling it that way by just really just being out there, present, developing relationships, learning from my mentorship team. And it's been working for me thus far. And my mentorship team, also has been helping so much with getting me more active in social media. And I'm finally starting to get out there a little bit more and getting more comfortable with it as well. So I'm starting to delve into that, but just more recently. But the talking to people is really what I have found has been the best thing so far. So thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah, your enthusiasm is just contagious and such a great reminder, isn't it, you guys, about this is why we offer coaching, and we're patients. And I want you to think about the long, right? Playing the long game and patience and building that friendship that Julie talked about is how we're creating influence. Exactly what the gentleman said in the video is that leadership is influence, right? Our ability to influence somebody, to attract, to invite them, to awaken them into something bigger for them is going to happen through trust and influence, right? And so 4 years with Julie, right? I remember the day she called me and said, okay, I think I need to know more about this. Put a 1 in the comments if somebody is super, super busy, or they've told you they're busy and that you just feel like, oh gosh, I can't bring up coaching again because they just told me they're busy, right? And I'm hoping that this resonates with you guys, that this is not a once and done. We're in the business of awakening, coming alongside people. Thank you for your honesty, because I've done the same thing. I've even had thoughts, how on earth would this person fit this into their world? Even though I know this could be the absolute answer to their world. So having the patience to actually have these kind of conversations, like, hey, this may be a crazy idea, but what would you think? or how could we possibly find a way to do this? But just being okay with the not yet. And think about that. Just like we always talk about it with the program, it's never really a no, it's usually a not yet. If you're can gain a comfort level with offering coaching in the same mindset, you're going to be blown away by who comes alongside you. Right. Now, something I wanted to share, this was brought up in our leadership meeting today, is that often in our coaching conversations, you might have a coaching conversation and somebody's not ready yet. We do have what's called a social proof page that if people want to learn more, you could always say, hey, I know you may not be ready yet, or if we do a Coach Explore and they're not ready yet, but I would love to put you in this page that has lots of stories about what other people are doing with coaching. It actually shows some of their incomes as well. So you could really start to see what's possible. And at the end of the day, a lot of people, find finances and it makes a difference for people. And they often think that we don't really earn much income. I mean, put a 2 in the comments when you were a little surprised when your check started coming in from Optavia, like, whoa, this is a real deal. So in this group, and I'll pop it up here real quick, but you can request to join it. That's what I'm going to recommend you do first. It's called Living Life Abundantly. And I'll put the link when I post this recording, you guys. A couple of people of you asked, I will post that TED Talk, and I'll also post the link to this. But in that group of people that are, senior coach posting, regional directors, people that posted their growth over the past 3 years. There's people that make $4,000 a month, $7,000 a month. Somebody posted they're making, I think, $262,000 a year, or somebody makes $48,000 bonuses a month. There are all different stories in there. So there would probably be potentially one that would resonate. So let me just pull it up real quick for you before we sign off, so I can hopefully get it to you. Let me.
Of organizations to achieve
turn him
extraordinary.
off. Can you guys see this? So it's Living Life Abundantly. And when you get in, so what you're going to do is request to join. And then I'm going to encourage you to watch this video from Don Fisher about it. And when you add people to this group, this is what you would do: is you would invite them to the group, you would add them and tag them in this video. Once they've accepted it, tag them. But then just spend some time here yourself. Number one, it may inspire you. Sometimes we get a little sleepy on our own dreams, or maybe we haven't quite been awakened. This gentleman's just talking about how, being a flexible full-time coach, how he's able to be with his parents and assisted care. He doesn't really talk about his salary, but all other people are, doing it. So encourage you to take advantage of that. Because we were talking about in our leadership call, it's something that not everybody's been taking advantage of. And I think it's a really, really powerful tool. When people can see what other people are doing, they want to be a part of it. So very good. Well, thank you guys for being on tonight. I personally love all of you and just honored to be able to partner with you. Wish you the best tomorrow with Valentine's Day. Share some love and share some love to out in the world with sharing with what we do with Optavia. So good to be with you. Thanks to Zena, to Lori, and to Julie, who shared tonight as well. Bye, you guys.